We now move on to the United States. The US has signed a deal with Ukraine on the joint application of its energy and mineral resources after months of tense negotiations. The two countries have agreed to establish a reconstruction investment fund to spur Ukraine's economic recovery from its war with Russia. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said it showed both sides were committed to lasting peace and prosperity in Ukraine. For Kyiv, the deal is seen as essential to assessing US military aid. Let's take a listen in to what Scott Bessent said.
President Trump's tireless efforts to secure a lasting peace, I am glad to announce the signing of today's historic economic partnership agreement between the United States and Ukraine, establishing the United States-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund. This partnership allows the United States to invest alongside Ukraine to unlock Ukraine's growth assets, mobilize American talent, capital, and governance standards that will improve Ukraine's investment climate and accelerate Ukraine's economic recovery.
According to the statement from the US Treasury on Wednesday afternoon, the newly created US-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund recognizes the significant financial and material support the US has given Ukraine since Russia invaded in February 2022. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister, Lulio Savchenko, who flew to Washington to ink the deal on Wednesday, said in a post on X that the new fund would attract global investment to our country. Listing the deal's provisions, he said it would involve projects in minerals, oil and gas, although the resources would remain the property of Ukraine. The minister also reiterated that the partnership will be equal on a 50-50 basis. She further added that the deal will be first ratified by Ukrainian lawmakers. Moving to a related development, Putin is open to peace in Ukraine and intense work is ongoing with the United States. However, the conflict is so complex that the rapid progress seems difficult. In tides of Putin's recent three-day ceasefire announcement, President Donald Trump, who says he wants to be remembered as a peacemaker, has repeatedly expressed his desire to end the bloodbath of the war in Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Let's take a listen to what the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov had to say.
Наше предложение, которое президент Путин озвучил, это начало прямых переговоров без предварительных условий. Перемирие в данной ситуации рассматривается как предварительные условия, которое будет использовано для дальнейшей поддержки киевского режима, укрепления его военных способностей. Помните, когда перемирие, которое предложил президент Трамп в виде моратория на удары по объектам энергетической инфраструктуры, и которое полностью было соблюдено в течение 30 дней российской стороной, оно никак не повлияло на агрессивные действия киевского режима. Нарушений было, по-моему, пара сотен.
On April the 26th, the Kremlin claimed that Russian forces had fully recaptured the territory of Kursk Oblast. However, despite this declaration of victory, President Vladimir Putin acknowledged the day before that Ukrainian soldiers still remain in the region, according to Russian state-controlled media. Speaking at an event in Moscow, Putin further stated that the remaining Ukrainian forces are requesting evacuation from their commanders. They've been pushed out of Kursk Oblast, but remnants are still hiding in cracks and basement, asking to be evacuated, he said. While truce talks continue, Russian drones attacked Ukraine's Black Sea port of Odessa today, causing fires, damaging homes and infrastructure. There's no word yet on casualties. Meanwhile, Ukraine's top military commander, Oleksandr Syrsky, said that Russian forces have greatly increased their attacks in eastern Ukraine, despite the ongoing truce discussions.